Hello everyone and welcome back to Colorful Sparks. My name is Dorothy. Today we're going to talk about the February TBR. I'm super excited because my friend Kenzie picked all of the books on this -1 because I kind of manhandled her into putting it on here. And I'm super excited for all the books that she picked. If you watch the January wrap-up video, you'll know that there will be 4 books carrying over into this month from the January TBR, which was From Blood and Ash, A Kingdom of Flesh and Fire, House of Earth and Blood, and Windfall. So all of those will also be technically on this February TBR. And so all of those will be coming onto the list of 9 that Kenzie has given me today. I'm going to start basically telling you why Kenzie has picked some of these books. The first book that I'm going to talk about really quick is a book that I don't currently have because it has not been released yet. And that is A Court of Silver Flames by Sarah J. Maas. You're all not surprised because obviously this book has to be on the list. I need to read it the moment it comes out. I miss all of my characters, especially because I love them so much, and I love how Kenzie decided to introduce the TBR. So she starts with A Court of Silver Flames, and this is just pure reasoning why Kenzie and I are friends. A Court of Silver Flames. Duh, I don't hate you and I wish to continue being your friend, so I knew I had to include this book lest I be expelled from your love, which is hilarious because I essentially told her, you can pick 9 books no matter what they are, but we need to save a space for A Court of Silver Flames. She knew it was going to happen no matter what. Everything else I tried to find books that were by Black authors or told Black stories, or when all else failed, encourage you to read POC voices. Now, originally the TBR looked a lot different than what I'm going to show you today. Kenzie and I really tried to get the books to be all by Black authors or be POC voices, and we've done a pretty good job about that. However, my collection as it stands right now is kind of limited in that section, not because I don't want to read those stories, it's mainly because I don't personally go out and look for specific stories that are following that kind of genre. Mainly because if I want to read a book, I want to read a book, and I don't necessarily pay attention to specifically who the author is or what the story is kind of themed around. So that's my own personal fault and I take all the blame for that. We originally had kind of an idea about, you know, doing library books, but I haven't been able to get my library card finalized because I don't really have a way of, well, not even a way, I don't really have the ability to get into the library to be like, here's my driver's license, please let me take books home. So this is kind of the like 3rd iteration of the TBR, which is all mainly books that are on the shelf. So the next book that's on the TBR is also a book that I don't currently have. I'll be listening to Becoming by Michelle Obama this month throughout the entire month. I'm not going to try to like push myself to get through it on like certain days or anything like that, mainly because I'm not an audiobook listener, but also because I felt like if I only had one audiobook to listen to throughout the whole month, I could take the whole month to read it. So that's kind of where I'm at with that. Kenzie also agreed that just one audiobook would be good for me just because I'm not fully into the audiobook space. This is what Kenzie had to say about Becoming. Where is it? It's Michelle Obama. I would read her grocery list, so I'm sure her memoir is fantastic. I will be reading it this month also, hopefully. I love that for us. Kenzie and I really bonded more about what we read, especially because I read ACOTAR because of her and Summer, and then I read the Raven Cycle series because of her, and it's a beautiful friendship we've got going. I honestly can't wait to discuss Becoming by Michelle Obama with her. Next 2 books on the TBR I'm putting together because they're by the same author. However, one of them I currently don't have, and that is because Amazon is being a butt and will not release the like physical copy. I have the Kindle version of the book on hand, but I don't have the physical copy, which really sucks. So the next 2 books on the TBR are Sugarcoated Pain by Summer Nawaz, as well as Bound by Summer. Summer is one of my very good friends. I love her so much. Bound was her first novel and Sugarcoated Pain is her second. I'm waiting until Amazon finally releases it from reviews so I can get it, and then once I do get it, it will be in my hands again. But I will be reading both of her books this month, mainly because I love her, also because her stories are very good, and because you know, she's just great, okay? And what Kenzie had to say about Summer's books. Summer is a POC author and we love her and support all that she does. We really, really do. And I'm sure the books are wonderful. I, Mackenzie, would really like to read them one day, please and thank you. And I'm honestly just kind of like starting a Summer Nawaz fan club and I'm here for it, you know, that's fine. But for right now, you can only look at Bound, and I'll leave a link to Sugarcoated Pain in the description below. The next book on the TBR is The Hate You Give by Angie Thomas. Surprisingly, I have not read this book yet, which is really disappointing to me. This book has been on my radar and on my to-buy list for about, let's see here, when did it come out? It came out in 2017. I believe it's been on my TBR list since 2018 then. I'm kind of deeply embarrassed that I haven't read it yet, but it also means that I can read it this month, as well as the fact that there's been 2 other books following essentially this character, as well as her family come out. Concrete Rose came out last month, and I hope that once I read this, I can read the other book, which I don't remember the name of, which is really, really embarrassing, as well as Concrete Rose in the very near future. So, Kenzie picked The Hate You Give because she says it's self-explanatory. It's about systemic mistreatment of Black people by police officers, very relevant and worth reading now and forever. And so it must be read. I'm very ashamed of myself that I haven't read it yet. I know I've said that a couple times, but I'm even more ashamed because honestly, I gave my mom this book for Mother's Day one year, and I didn't read it myself. Why? We don't know, but now it's on the TBR and that means it's going to be read this month. The next book on the TBR is Star Daughter by Shevta Thakrar. I recently just picked this book up when I was home a couple weeks ago. I mainly grabbed it because of the cover. The cover is absolutely stunning, and then the premise got me just immediately as well. And it's basically about Shoutout and how her mother is kind of a celestial being and she is meant to be the human representative for the stars, and then she goes back up and then she has to come back down to be the representative. And I'm really, 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 really happy that Kenzie picked it, because from the moment that I saw it, I really, really wanted to read it. And so Kenzie's exact words are, "Star Daughter looks amazing and happens to have a Black female lead. Totally rad." I mean, I agree. I'm very, 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 very happy. I really just love the cover about it, and that kind of makes it automatically in my head be like, this is gonna be good. So the next book on the TBR is The Ravens by Danielle Page and Kass Morgan. This, I've already talked about this a couple times once I got it. This is a book about a sorority of witches, which really makes me excited. It has kind of that sorority element that I've already kind of read and experienced through TV, as well as adding a fantasy element of witches, which I'm really into. I got this book in October for the Once Upon a Book Club once I was still a part of that. I've been kind of thinking about when I would be reading it. I wasn't sure if I wanted to read it this month or if I wanted to wait a little bit longer, but Kenzie made the decision for me because she's great and put it on this month's TBR. And Kenzie said, The Ravens, a POC author and characters, woohoo! Which honestly, that's exactly how I pictured her saying it. I'm super excited about this book. And finally, the last 2 books on the TBR are Serpent and Dove and Blood and Honey by Shelby Mahurin. I've been kind of waiting to read these books once I got caught up on kind of the mental TBR that I had set in my head. These books have been all over TikTok, which is why I picked them up. There is a 3rd book coming out very soon. I will be linking Shelby's Instagram down below because she just did a cover reveal this week of the 3rd book, and I'm really, really, really excited to see it. I haven't seen it yet, obviously, because as I'm filming this, it hasn't come out, but I want you all to experience it because I'm sure it's going to be great. As for Blood and Honey, I've heard very mixed things. Some people have loved it, some people have hated it, but the general consensus seems to be that everyone really liked Serpent and Dove, so my hopes are pretty high for these. And Kenzie picked them because there's a POC author and I really want to read it, so I'm making you read it to tell me if it's good. Love you! And honestly, that's kind of how this works. So I'm super excited for February and all the books that we're reading. I'm currently reading From Blood and Ash by Jennifer L. Armentrout right now to kind of hopefully kick out most of those January follow-up books so I can get to the ones that we've got for February. I'm currently on page 92. I already really like Hawk. He's very hot, and I should have believed Summer when she said that he would be hot, but now I know. So this will hopefully be finished very, very soon, even though it's a very big book, and then I can hopefully get to the February books. I'm super excited to get all of this reading done. I hope you guys are having a fantastic week. Happy February. This is going to be a great month. I can feel it already. And if you like this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up down in the comments below. Let me know what you are looking forward to reading this month. I think the book that I'm most excited for on the TBR right now, besides the ones that are the January follow-ups, I think it's going to be a tie between Star Daughter and Serpent and Dove, mainly because Star Daughter, once I picked it up, I immediately wanted to read it, and because Serpent and Dove I've had for a little bit now, and the hype has just slowly been building in me, so I'm super excited to do all of that. And if you like this content, make sure to subscribe. I post videos every single Friday at 4 p.m. Central, and I'll see you guys over on the blog on Monday. Bye!